Hello all and welcome to Monday Night Football, and we're going to start here. So sometimes I feel like, why is Peter Prosper not a bigger icon in Championship Manager and Championship Manager 3? And I think this is why. So we owned him on the original. I'm looking around the room, I can't see where it is because I had a reorder. 19 years old, very much a wonder kid. We got him at Ipswich eventually, but if we click on him here, Championship Manager 3 updated database, he's 29. So he's still got some okay stats, but the Wonder Kid tag is gone. So on here, he is playing for Firenze. He's gone there for 80k from Ansar, who he starts at. So between one update and the other, or between the sold out series and the original retail release, he has been corrected. So I don't know which is his correct age. I'm going to presume it's this one, but I just wanted to touch on that before we start. Because last time you were with us, I was talking about getting through the season as quickly as possible. But that has had to change because we are now 7th. We are 7th and we're 4 points behind Crystal Palace. They do have a game in hand on us. We're 5 points off of Tranmere, who have really fallen away since they've lost Aldridge. But we've been catapulted, let's put it that way. We've been catapulted into 7th due to this incredible run. So we beat Crewe 1-0 at Bramall Lane, Lee Morris with a goal. We beat Bristol City 2-0 away, Lee Morris again with a goal. Ashton Gate, I was like, I'm not going to say Ashton Gate in case that's the other Bristol, because I am very bad for stuff like that. We drew 1-1 with Swindon, not a great result. Lee Morris again. We beat Barnsley 3-1. Carsley, Booth, Jonathan Hunt. So a real good win there. 0-0 with Bolton. And then this was an incredible result. A 1-0 win over top of the league, Sunderland. Now, this was very much a smash and grab. If you have a look at the stats here, we only had the 2 shots on target. We scored very late on. It was our last shot of the game. But that has put us all the way up to 7th. We've now into March. We've got Birmingham, Portsmouth and QPR. Then we've got Palace, Port Vale and Oxford. So we've got 2 of the teams in and around us during that little spell. So we're going to play the first 3 games now. We're going to see where we are. Then we're going to decide what we're going to do with Friday's episode at the end of this episode. So here we are with the midweek fixtures. Crewe have just temporarily, hopefully temporarily, snuck between us and the teams in 5th and 6th that we are hopeful of catching. Going up would probably be disastrous, but I'm not gonna be one of those people that doesn't try. Now, we're gonna have a look at a few things. First, we're gonna have a look at the transfers, because players out. Rob Kozlog has gone out for 90k to Leicester. He's already worth 1.1 million, so he could be someone that we regret selling, but maybe not. And then Nicky Mark, I was pleased to get rid of him. This guy was on 8,000 a week with us, so he's gone to Reading, who are 2nd in Division 2 behind Man City. And we got 90k for him, but more importantly, we got his 8k wages off. He's taken a big price decrease to go and play there. But we have got Birmingham City pre-Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not even been drafted, I don't believe, here. And this is partly what has fueled us. We have moved. So we've got it. It says 4-4-2, but it's not, is it? It's a 4-1-2-1-2. So I've brought Woodhouse and Devlin in, still told them to push out. They've still got their instructions as if they're playing out wide, but for some reason, this seems to have unlocked another gear for us, another level, and it's also turned Lee Morris into the goal-scoring, attacking midfielder we were after. So this guy's got 8 goals now in 22 league games, and that has been key for moving us forward. So we're going to hit continue. We are pretty good here. Lee Morris is a 95, but he will be staying in. I'm going to get Andy Booth onto that spot there, and I'm going to swap him with Couture. So, and I'm going to swap Couture, not Couture, and then I'm going to swap Booth and Abu around. So that is our team. We're going to go in. We're at home. So we've got Davidson remaining in goal. So he has won this. If you have a look at he's played 12 league games and only conceded 9 goals, and he's got a 7.17 rating. So that is what has allowed him to keep that. So Davison in goal. Fleming, Murphy, Sanford, Carr, O'Connor, Woodhouse, Devlin, Morris, Booth and Abu, Kachuro, Hunt and Fairclough on the bench. We are still on very fast because I've been playing off camera. Let's see, can we get a good episode and get at least 7 points and carry on some of that off camera form. I'm going to be honest, I'm a bit nervous, not only because sometimes I feel like I do worse as soon as I hit the record button, but it's been days. I had to stop that run days ago because I was like, this is where we're starting for the next episode. And many of you will be like me. I don't like stopping Championship Manager in the middle of a winning run. Also don't like stopping it in the middle of a losing run, and I don't like stopping it if we've got too many draws. So there's a problem there. The problem is probably me, but we've come back to this first half, new formation, doing okay. Where are Birmingham? Birmingham not even in the top half, and I'm not going to be scrolling down because I'm on an old trackball mouse. Here it is here. Easy chance for Woodhouse. Woodhouse scores. It's in the back of the net. Woodhouse is the scorer. His first ever goal for Sheffield United. And look at Curtis go. Isn't he developing nicely? He is surely going to be asking for a new contract soon. He's also got passing of 10. I believe that's gone up because I'm sure he was 9 at the start of the year. And we've got a much better crowd here. And we are on top of this game. And we're going to sling Andy Booth off because we've brought him back. He's got carded and he's playing a 6. And I'm not having that. We're going to the promised land, Andy. You need to get behind us and use your considerable weight to push us forward. Hopefully Andy Booth doesn't still live in Sheffield. Right. Another goal would really, I feel like, with the way Birmingham have played, put us in a comfortable position going into the last 30. Let's have a look at the player ratings after this highlight. Yeah, and we're doing well here. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how things are progressing. Oh, Kachuro loses his man, unleashes a volley. And I've just seen applies the finish, and I think that's the Masio-Ball, and it is still 1-0. If we could get another goal, I would like to take Morris off, just because he had that 95 fitness, and it is a Tuesday, which means we will have another game Saturday. I think 60-yard ball into the channel. I think we're going to do it anyway. Oh, there is Morris. So you're seeing Morris is getting so much of the ball with this changed system. So let's get Hunt on though. Let's see if we can ride out these last 19 minutes and get the first 3 points of the episode. So I'm worried about saying this so close to the end of the game, but we have dominated this, but we've not scored enough. We've only got the one goal. He's had a dip and he's put it into orbit. That's not what I want to see. Oh, Devlin. Come on, Devlin. I just feel like if we had an absolute killer striker, like some of the other teams up there have got, then we would be the team storming into the playoffs almost out of nowhere that surely people wouldn't fancy playing. If it was me, I wouldn't fancy playing any of the teams because you've seen my playoff record, not just on this game, on the channel in general. They've got Eddie Newton playing for them. And the final whistle is gone. I was not nervous. That was never in doubt because this is who we are. 22,723 points tucked away safely as they head home into the city centre and beyond. Look at this. We've restricted them to 3 shots, 0 of which were on target. And Ian Bennett, their goalkeeper, has played a 10 and he's kept them in that. I'm like, could we try Paul Devlin up front? Is that going to unlock us the goals? I don't think it is it? I might try it. That's all I'm saying. Still 8th, but that win has seen us close even further on the free-falling Tranmere. Palace look like they're hitting a good bit of form, so they might be pulling away. So maybe this is one place realistically between. And you look, as I say, Wolves have come back out of nowhere. Now this is interesting. We pretty much just declared Bradford in the playoff race with us, but they have just parted way with Paul Jewell. So feeling that a new manager will bring a fresh approach to the team. Not messing around, are they? Now, things are getting even worse for Tranmere because they have just lost to Swindon, who are right down the bottom of the league. That win has got them off of second bottom. They were 23rd. So Sunderland have hammered Ipswich. They're consolidating their place at the top. But Tranmere, free fall. We have now got Portsmouth. So Masio-Ball is injured and had to been removed from the Ivory Coast squad. I was going to say, let's check how we got on against Portsmouth the first time around. So we beat them 1-0 with a Lee Morris goal. So we're going to be looking to do the double over them here. We are going to have to get Abu out. We're going to put Couture in. So we're going to go Booth left, Couture right. Let's go with Quinn. I was going to say, I think I'm happy with that, but I've just spotted that Curtis Fleming is suspended. So we are going to have to get Fairclough on it, left back. Carsley's still out. Let's see, I've got a defender in here that I'm happy to put in. Let's put Derry in. I've put Derry into the reserves just to make sure he was getting some games. So let's fire him on. And let's get to this game. Fratton Park. I can already hear that bell in my head. Ringing away. Chiming away. I don't know what the term is for that. And we'll not be looking it up because this is an important game. If we can get another win here, even though it is a wet 9 degrees. Carl Court. Could have been coming to us, mate. Gone off injured. Can't face Macio's stern frown glaring at him from the away dugout. We've also got Carl Robinson. So they've made a few signings, Portsmouth. They were 16th, weren't they? Yeah, they're the 18th. So you would hope, with the form we're on, that we could go 1-0 down to Carl Robinson, the 17-year-old striker. So, brilliant. Great job, lads. Well done. At least it wasn't his first goal. What are Portsmouth doing? Why are they causing us so much trouble? 4-4-2 push. Like, we've hardly even had a shot here. But there he is. Morris or Messi. You decide. Got him in that attacking midfield role. Either foot. Great at dribbling. And he's got us another goal. And he's got us back in this. And we probably don't really deserve that on the face of the play that we have seen. Fairclough must now be careful. With that, I'm going to bring Derry on. Because I can't risk having both of them on yellow cards. At least Derry is a right back. And he's doing okay in the reserves. So it'd be nice to try and expose him to a bit of first team football. In case we don't actually have to sell everyone. If our finances become better than they were at the start. Now, an update on the board. They are still unhappy. They're like the Bradford. Woodhouse. I thought he was going to start a goal scoring streak. An on-camera goal scoring streak. But we're being dominated on the possession again. Right, we've got 30 minutes left. Let's get Quinn on. Tell you what, I'm going to do something wild and unconventional here. I'm going to bring Hunt on. And I'm going to go to a kind of mad Christmas tree. I'm going to tell Morris to push up. I'm going to leave Hunt there. So now the attacking midfielder is getting forward, and then one of them is sitting. So we've got one still in the attacking midfielder spot and one pushing forward to join the attack. This might be insane. This might never work, but let's see. Right, might be some weird editing there because Packard Bell was insistent that I register my 25-year-old PC. So I'm not sure. I'll need to check in the edit whether the game continued or not. It's like, come on, guys, this is crucial running. I can't be having you exiting to Windows. And I've completely lost what was happening. I feel like we lost it maybe 10 minutes of time there. But I think that I may just have imagined that. And that's disappointing. We've got 4 points from 6 then. How is this done? Derry has played a 6. Hunt's played a 6. So not a disaster. We are 7th. See, a win would have made things so much worse for Tranmere. O'Connor is out. The 5 goals scored by Leo. Let's have a look at Leo Fortune West. What is he on? He's 27, so... Let's have a look in Division 3. Southend, Scunthorpe, Torquay, Swansea, Carlisle, Peterborough, Brighton. So we could have potentially picked Brighton, or could have played as Brighton, or Cardiff. Or Hull. There we go then. And we'd played as Swansea on Total Football Manager. For someone whose entire channel is dedicated to football games and football nonsense, I often get team names and knowledge and player names and team names miserably wrong. Little segue. Once I come back from my holiday, prior to the Premier League, I will be setting up a Masio-Ball Fantasy Premier League league. Badly branded. So if you're interested in that, give me a little nudge if I don't put it up, and we'll get that set up, and we'll see who is the most knowledgeable, or at least give you some way to finish above me, which you should feel free to mention each and every week. Annoyingly, Tranmere have rebounded there with a good 3-1 win. Sunderland continuing to win. They must be pulling clear. They're 6 clear. So they won the English First Division at the first time on the original database, and they are winning it again. It'd be interesting to grab up that first season and have a look how that finished, and kind of compared it to how we're doing here. For example, I wonder where Sheffield Utd finished. Right, the transfer deadline is coming up, so it's my last chance to offload anyone and make a signing for cash. So the reserves have drawn 1-1. Lee Walker has absolutely rebounded from that stinker he played early in the year. It is frustrating that he's a goalkeeper and he basically just works on reflexes all the time, but his reflexes are free. But tell you what, let's get him on the loan list. Let's see if anyone is crazy enough to loan him out. Bradford, change of manager, and they've taken our place. Look at that. Not happy about that. We've got 2 games in hand on them, though. I presume that's because teams that we should be playing... We've got QPR. I was going to say because teams that we should be playing are still in the cup. And then there's QPR, who are like, oh, remember us? We knocked you out of the cup. Like, yeah, of course I do. And every time they come out, it reminds me that I do need to go back to the original FIFA Manager. The only reason I stopped was because we couldn't get the match engine running. So it was just me clicking instant result. But I do want to have a look at that in the Premier League. Right, O'Connor's been doing pretty well, hasn't he? But I'm going to drop him out for Carsley. But I'm going to get him on the bench. So let's get Hunt out. Let's get O'Connor on. Let's leave O'Derry. I keep calling him O'Derry. Hopefully that's the first time. Let's leave Derry. I think it's any time I talk about John Connor, I then instantly begin talking about... Right, Smith is back. I want Smith on the bench instead of Quinn. So I'm going to go strikerless here. Abu's out for a month with a twisted knee. Right. Yeah, so let's go with this. We've got QPR. We've not beat them yet in 3 attempts this year. So this is our chance. We're at home. I'm interested to see what the crowd is again. Saturday, the 20th of March. I said 7 points coming into the episode. Can we hit that then? Mears Brooks Messi. Don't know if Lee Morris is from Sheffield. But there we go. What a player. So this, he's still back up for the first team, which I'm going to keep on, even though he's basically played every game. This could catapult someone into coming in for him, going into the final week of the transfer window, and I'd probably turn that down unless it was astronomical, because him firing us into the playoffs would be worth more than most teams are able to offer us. Going up would be a disaster, let's be honest, because look at our team. It'd be great for the finances, but if they're unhappy with me at the minute, imagine how unhappy they'd be with me losing every game in the Premiership. And we've kind of built a kind of gritty, workman-like team for next year's Championship. If we then had to pivot that, it'd be like Forest the other year. We'd have to sign an entirely new team. Oh, I thought that was going to be one of those applies to finish, struck from 40 yards. Looks like Davidson had gone walkabout. Applies to finish, but then it doesn't result in a goal because another highlight came up in between, but then it did result in a goal. But now we have scored again, and it is Coutinho, and that is his 8th goal. If you had offered me 8 goals from him at the start of the year, I would have snatched your hand off. But he's already got them. 9 goals. He's like, look at me. The guy, all I ever do for this guy is score him goals, and he's still over there on the bench slagging me off. So I'll show him I'll score a hat-trick. Crack on, Petra. Now, if Davison lets in another goal, he will be dropped going into the next game, because it looks like he's committed another error there. But we are 3-1 up. I'm trying to remind myself that. It's not like Player Manager 99 where I just missed my opening goal. I have seen these ones, but feel free to go check that out if you've not so far. There will be a new episode of that up Wednesday. Nigel Winterburn, got to keep an eye on him. Got to keep an eye on Kevin Gallen and Steve Slade. There's a lot of people playing here who hate me. So I'm a bit nervous now that I've realised that. Oh, Morris, I thought he was going to just lift one into the top corner there. Hat-trick, first half hat-trick. So Masio-Ball is not getting back in this team if he's going to be scoring first half hat-tricks. 16, 20, 43, 4-1 up. There's only 16,000 of you here. Where are you, Sheffield? It's March. There's probably nothing else you should be doing. Davison's playing a 5, so he is at risk. I'm going to get Smith on for Woodhouse, despite his 8 rating. We're going to give this another 20, 25. Then I'm tempted. I'm going to bring Derry on, or O'Connor on, in midfield. And we're going to fire Devlin up front. Easy. I'm going to do it now. Let's get a big old round of applause, please, for the Belarusian Berbatov. Couldn't think of another footballer beginning with B. Off the top of my head. Hat-trick. 5-1 up. Coutinho's coming off. Devlin's going up front. Let's see, can we get him a goal in the shop window week? Don't know why Sky Sports News don't call it that. Lee Morris is good again. We're 6-1 up. Look at this. I was talking about punting the season away. Now we're Europe's most informed team. Even Steve Slade's not going to ruin today. Hey, side netting, Steve. Not today, Steve. You can't hurt me anymore. Oh, I thought Morris was about to grab a hat-trick. Let's get Kazi off because it is his first game back. 30 minutes to go. Kazi leaves the pitch. Replaced by O'Connor. Massive round of applause again. Now, the round of applause is mainly in my head because you can see there is no one here. So it's an empty stadium. and with this. But what a win. A 6-1 win. Now, I'm going to check the league. We're going to do some roundup stuff. If any messages come up that the board are still unhappy before we end this episode, I'm just going to hit resign or wherever. I'll find where the resign button is. I'm just going to click it. But we are up to 7th. We have dismantled QPR. And look at that. We have got a game in hand that would put us into the playoff spot, into the dotted line. We'd be on the right side of the fabled orange dotted line. And Curtis Woodhouse has been banned, right? So it's not the board. I don't have to follow through on my threat to resign. No, I'll just edit it out. Right, so we've got Palace away, Port Vale away, Oxford away. Then we've got Grimsby, Stockport, Watford, Tranmere, Ipswich. So we are going to continue. Friday's episode is going to be Palace, Port Vale, Oxford. So thank you very much, guys. I will see you then.